kinds of things that make me reject an application. The first one would be using the wrong company name. You'd be surprised how many times it happens, but the second I see, I really want to work for X and it's not my company, the application form unfortunately is going in the reject pile.
If they didn't meet the essential criteria, it's always a hard one, particularly when it might be your first job that you're looking for. So look very carefully. If it says it's essential, think whether you really do meet that essential criteria. And if you don't, you might want to check with the employer before making that application.
Candidates will be unsuccessful if they don't meet our academic criteria for admission. If they don't give us indication of why it is they want to be a doctor rather than some other healthcare profession. And if they give us no indication that they understand what it is that medicine as a career involves. We expect them to have done some homework.
It's amazing how many applications we get when quality isn't there. So, you know, do a draft of it first, check it, grammar, spelling.
Bad grammar, bad spelling.
Spelling and grammar mistakes.
Really bad spelling and punctuation.
Spelling and grammar is always a key issue.
Numerous typos or spelling mistakes.
That people can spell or their grammar is great may not necessarily mean that they're right or not for the job, but it's 2014. There's absolutely no excuse for not using spell check.
In social work, you have to write reports for courts. It's vitally important that you're able to write. And if you're making such mistakes on a UCAS form, then I'm afraid I'm going to be rejecting you.
The thing that I've really noticed recently, in the last couple of years, when someone emails me, you know, putting themselves forward for a job, they don't put capital letters in their email, and that drives me insane. It just seems like a really fundamental error. Use capital letters. Just present yourself in a way that looks professional.
If you've taken no effort whatsoever in answering your questions, if you've got the 200 words and you've only bothered to write me 15, it shows that you don't actually have the drive to work for my company.
Not repeating yourself again and again on the same questions. So if you see the same things coming up, it's sort of like, okay, is there anything else that you've done that you can talk about?
Generic answers as well to questions where perhaps someone's just been on a website and Googled the answer to a question. So it's just a bit standard and a bit boring. So we prefer answers that have got a bit more personality in them.
When people don't actually show a commitment to the discipline, so we occasionally get people who say, well, I'd like to do social work, medicine or nursing, and then spend their UCAS form discussing 3 different areas. You know, we really do need that focus and commitment.
Being specific about you know, experiences and competencies. If you're not specific about experiences and don't talk about what you did as part of an activity or demonstrating this skill, then that will probably result in rejection as well.
If somebody doesn't use examples, so they just say, yes, I fulfil this criteria, and then don't give examples to explain how and why they've done that, then that wouldn't get a look in either. And also when you ask for more information and they don't give any, we want a fuller picture of the candidate, and so the more information they can give, the better.
Really think about if, for example, part of the criteria was being able to manage your own time effectively and use your initiative, by all means state that, but everybody else may make the same statement, and what you need to do is evidence it. So give a very simple example, perhaps it could be how you've managed a particular project or subset of a project and you've had to meet deadlines. So really think about evidence as well as just making bland statements.